Hey, YouTube. How y'all doing today? Well, people, I want to speak a minute about this phenomenon. I call it the YouTube closet. The YouTube closet. These brilliant people at Google, perhaps the people even before they sold to Google, came up with the idea of the avatar. Look at my mouth. Is it moving right? That's this shit. This computer is Wi-Fi, and the other one, of course, is landline. And the landline is a whole lot better as far as speed. Let me see if I can change that a little bit. I've got to be me. I've got to be me. Oh, so somehow or other, the connection in LA is better here in San Francisco than the San Francisco connection. Because I have all the problems when it connects locally. Isn't that weird? Anyway, I want to talk about this phenomenon of the closet. Now, we all know that the closet generally speaks about gay people who do not live their life openly. They have their private life and their public life, right? A lot of people have resentments about the closet. Most people, it seems to me, who are not in the closet feels that everyone should be out of the closet. Never mind the reasons a person chooses to be in a closet. Back in the old days, it was important that a lot of people had to stay in the closet. They had, particularly if they had important jobs. You got to remember that all these newscasters that we see now out, that was not the reality 5 or 6 years ago. They were all in the closet. Anderson, I think 4 of them on MSNBC, John Lemon, all these guys were not out because they couldn't be out and be newscasters. So people have various reasons for coming out. My thought has always been, you don't bring nobody out. You don't force nobody out of the closet. It is traumatic because it's not a choice they're making. They're being forced to do something that they don't really want to do. So people say, well, if there are hypocrites, they should be outed. If they're a preacher, they should be outed. I think it's up to the person. If you care anything about the person, it's a personal place that you come to where you want to live your life out loud. I meet people in here in the Castro all the time. I volunteer for this coffee shop, right? This sober place. And some of these guys are coming out in their 60s and 70s. I'm not lying. They've lived their life in the closet for all of those years, their whole life. Sometimes it's the divorce that causes it. I mean, sometimes these people have been married, living heterosexual lives, whatever, but they've always been a closeted homosexual. And sometimes they're not even married, but they just never came out. They never felt comfortable doing it. So it's always funny when you see these old guys, my age, with their rainbow flag on T-shirts and all the, they got the shorts on. This happens a lot around the time of Pride. They're happy just like 20-year-olds, right? But it has to be on your own time, is my point. So, me, I was never in the closet. Well, that's not true. Let's tell the truth, Timothy. Try to tell the truth. I didn't come. When I left Indiana at 19, the moment I got on the freeway, I was out. Right? It was just for me. It was just a matter of leaving Indiana, and so I was 19-year-old, and that happened. Come here, boy. You got to be good, okay? You got to be good. Don't make trouble. But I know many people even that I went to high school with, came out much, much later. I run into them when I visit there much, much later, and they had always been homosexual. People have different reasons. Some of them raise families. Some people are just not comfortable. Now, I'm making this parallel because what I see happening on YouTube is that many people are choosing to stay in the closet. These brilliant people at Google recognize the need for the avatar, where you can come on here and be anybody you want to be. Right? It can be problematic if you're a problematic person, if you're a troublemaker or whatever. You just want to wreak havoc. But some people, because of our behavior, do not feel safe coming out on YouTube. They don't want you to know anything about them. They don't want you to know where they live. They don't want you to know where they work. They don't want you to know if they have children or not. They don't want you to know anything because it's become so dangerous for these people to have information about your life. So what you sacrifice is I mean, it makes sense in a way. I can go on here and play. I can create my personality, my online personality, without the repercussions of people getting involved in my life and attracting the attention of some of these nasty people who want to dig into people's personal lives, kind of thing, right? So I see now lately, people seem to be very concerned with a couple of people on here. They want to know who they are. This is the way it always is when you're in the closet. Anytime you're in the closet, people want to know, right? We've had examples on here. People who say one thing and everyone suspect the other thing, they can't let it go. They feel like they have to know. So, you guys, apparently this new guy, I think his name is Sir King, has been on making the headlines, the YouTube headline, our headlines. And people want to know who he is. They said that this person could possibly be VS. They say this person could possibly be Wolverine. I heard that. They all want to know who this dude is. Now, my idea is this. This is what I think. As long as this person is not being a bad person, he's not here to wreak havoc, what difference does it make? Why do you got to know who he is? Back in the early days, when as a young gay man, I used to wonder, I said, what if I would have just stayed home in Indiana? I mean, I can just always say I never met the right girl yet. There are plenty of bachelors. There was no reason to let these people into my business, which changed my relationships. I assume I was gone, so, with many of my family members. I could have just stayed there and been, but for some reason, for me, I had to be out. I had to be totally out. That's the only way I felt comfortable after being suppressed for the first 19 years, or a good part of it, whatever. Anyway, that was my decision to make. I decided to come out, be free, be open. This is the way I like to live, but I can't assume that everybody in the world is supposed to be just like me or feel the same way I do or anything else. So I think if the person is not causing any trouble, now if a person comes on here just being an asshole and destroying people's lives themselves, then of course you want to investigate. You want to know who the hell it is. But if they're not a controversial type person, I don't know why you have to know that personal information. You guys know what I went through last week. People all live in my business and stuff like that. That is it's an invasion of privacy. Like you have no privacy. Like your life is not valuable enough that you can have a personal life, personal business. People just come in just with their dirty shoes all in your life. Anyway, let me not get sidetracked. So I don't think it makes no difference who Mr. Sir King is. I don't. I think you can have a personality online. It's not saying that it's necessarily a fake personality or anything. It's just saying that I don't want you to know who I am. Because I feel like these people here will try to harm me. I come on YouTube to have fun. I come on YouTube to enjoy myself, to have conversation, to participate. I want to be a part of the group. But when they see example after example after example after example of our bad behavior, I mean, what do you expect? Who want to jump into the lion's den, honey? We've done this to ourselves, beef sector. We created the monster. People don't want to expose themselves, so they're less likely to come on here. They say, well, God damn, they would do that to a person? Why? Why would they do that? It's crazy. But we're responsible for it. Now, I don't believe in doxing at all. I'm going to keep saying that. I'll believe that forever. I don't believe in people going into other people's personal lives and sharing their business online. I hate it. I really hate it. So, which is giving me a lot more compassion for people who do not choose to expose themselves to this thing. Now, more than likely, at some point, people do want to just be themselves. I said, whatever. They had to come to that point, and they'll come to that point when they come to it, honey. So I don't believe forcing people out, investigating people, all that kind of stuff. I think it's all wrong. Somebody wants to be in the closet on YouTube? Enjoy your closet, honey. Perhaps if they feel safe enough to come out of the closet, this is what happened to all the newscasters. At some point, it was safe to come out of the closet and not feel like you were jeopardizing your whole life or your whole career because of your sexuality. So it's a wonderful thing. Things have changed a whole lot. Took time, though. It's a personal decision. What I say is leave people alone, unless they're bad people. If they come on here, being a bad person, where they're doing the doxing and stuff like that. Now, if you doxing to other people, they're going to investigate you. That's a natural thing. But this thing is got to stop, right? I believe that's what makes people so hesitant about getting involved in this thing. I said, why is the stress even worth it? All right, that's my opinion on this situation with the closet of YouTube. I think the two things are very similar. All right, think about it, people. Maybe we'll come and see you guys later.